All right. Hello, if you're watching this posted video, make sure you do turn on your notifications. This is becoming a very repetitive thing, but you're going to miss the video or you're going to miss the live stream if you don't. Also, it helps if you like the video. I've been having tons of people saying, I'm missing your videos, I'm missing your videos. I post every day. You got to turn on your notifications. Nonetheless, here's what we're talking about. The U.S. military, as we know, is involved with Israel, but we are taking it one step further. President Biden and Israel has announced that U.S. special operations, they use the word operations, not special forces, not Navy SEALs, will be assisting in planning for the hostage rescuing and reconnaissance efforts. If you are watching this live, I see that I finally been able to catch the video. There we go. Everyone's here. Everybody here liked the video. It'll help out a ton. Thank you guys so much for being here. So let's get into this. Finally, the gang is here. I love talking to you guys. All right, here we go. Let me get you guys this article, and then I'll show you the live maps, and I'll also show you the U.S. military might have a little bit of luck in their favor. We might deploy another aircraft carrier into the region. Go figures, right? Okay. Thank you again for being here. Okay, so President Biden doubled down on the U.S. support for Israel against Hamas during his speech today, at the time of this stream, 4 hours ago. He addressed the country after talking to the Israeli Prime Minister, Benjamin. He said the third call the two leaders who have had since the war broke out. Okay, let's get to the part. The U.S. will aid in hostage recovery efforts and support Israel's missile intercepting Iron Dome. I wanted to point this out. We've always had boots on the ground in Israel, whether special forces or whether with the Iron Dome. When it comes to the Iron Dome, the United States and soldiers who train on missile interception and stuff like that almost get no real-time training or practice, which is a good thing. It's a double-edged sword. So U.S. soldiers do go to Israel to help, work with real combat experienced troops who deal with intercepting missiles. So that's why we've already had a garrison of troops out there and deployed troops. Nonetheless, though, this is different. The word used was special operations, so that can mean anything from a CIA clandestine unit. That can mean Tier 1 of SEAL Team 6, Delta Force, whatever they're called nowadays. They change their names all the time. Nonetheless, it does look like the United States, though, does want to be involved with the hostage rescue. Wild. Initially, it was, don't worry, no boots on the ground. We're sending an aircraft carrier out there in case U.S. soldiers get hurt. Nothing's going to happen. Now, all of a sudden, I think it's because after seeing the videos and the true aftermath of what's happening, I don't know if you guys are aware of the recent things that have been uncovered. We're talking like, I can't even say it on YouTube, atrocities, terrible things that Hamas did to Israel. And I think that's why there is such a, I don't want to say uproar, or more confidence in actually helping Israel to complete their tasks. We will get to the casualty count here in a second. So yeah, understand this. It does look like we're going to get involved with the hostage rescue. Now, I don't know when that's going to start because Israel is still not totally secured. They're still getting attacked. Okay, something else I do have to mention. The U.S. aircraft carrier has arrived into the Mediterranean, the Ford. However, and we'll get to the live map here in a second. Wrong picture. The U.S. Navy already has their deployment set in advance, and it turns out there's actually another aircraft carrier strike group who's supposed to be entering the Middle East like in a couple weeks. So this is a good thing and a bad thing. I know most of us will say, well, it's a good thing. Send everyone in the region. But understand this, Ryan Macbeth talks about it all the time. You will get a lot of misinformation on this one. It's really going to look like, well, the U.S. military, it looks like they're provoking a war. They're sending more assets to the Middle East. I thought the U.S. was getting out of the Middle East. And so, again, this is a good thing and a bad thing. I will let you guys decide what you think about this. It's never necessarily a bad thing to have as much air assets as possible in the region. We have troops operating in Syria, troops operating in Iraq, garrisons all over the Middle East. And there's an expectation and a possibility that these troops might get attacked from other factions who have been motivated to support or stand in solidarity, if you will, with Hamas. Yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to read your comments real quick. Thank you again for being here. Turn on your notifications and like the video if you're just joining. I don't know why some of you get them and some of you don't. Okay, so the thing about this is this conflict, this is turning into a three-front war real quick. Real quick. You have attacks coming out of Syria now. For those of you who are not aware, today of this video and live stream, Hamas did give a warning, 5 p.m. Israeli time. If you guys don't clear out of areas, we will attack you. So now, coming out of Syria, though, we have more attacks. Interesting enough, Israel, let me move my head. Dude, my head is always in the way. I got to stop doing this. I naturally have a fat head, but the screen, I always mess it up. I apologize to all the people who are here today. The Israeli army took out Syrian positions. Syrian army positions. Is Israel going to provoke a third front, or has the third front already arrived? I'll let you guys decide. Put that fat head over the ad. Yeah, that's a good idea. There we go. I am the advertisement. Okay, but in all seriousness, because this is actually really serious, I'll let you guys decide on that. In my opinion, questions as to whether or not what factions would even get involved from Syria, because Syria is already heavily contested, even from professional militaries of the Russians and the United States. The major faction operating in Syria, I can't say the name on here. Letter I. You guys know who I'm talking about. They're the really bad guys who start with the letter I. Potentially might get in on this, but who knows, because they don't really have anything to do, or their mission is not to get into Jerusalem or Palestine or anything like that. They're all about the caliphate over in Iraq. So that's a totally different thing here. But again, chain reactions are the normative when it comes to the Middle East, especially with the quote-unquote West. Israel and the United States always get tied in together whenever it comes to anything. So who knows, these groups might feel like they get a 2-for-1 deal. We'll attack the U.S. and Syria, but we'll also mess with the guys in Israel. JW asked a good question. Do you think we will help with the, I can't say the B word, do I think we'll help with the air campaign over Gaza? From what I've seen, anything can happen at this point, to be honest with you. After going over all the material and reporting on this from day one, the escalation in which the United States has been like on an upward trajectory has been like, oh, we stand with Israel. We will help Israel. We are in Israel. We're going to help with the hostages. So I don't know exactly what this means to help with the hostages. Does it mean we're actually going to be in Gaza with Delta, SEAL Team 6, going door to door, finding whoever? Or does it mean you're going to help with the reconnaissance assets, with the equipment already in the area? So I didn't try to dance around your question, but I don't know. I really don't know at this point. If I had to guess at this point, yes. Thank you for the $5 donation. Although the loss of life is sad, it's time to rip the Band-Aid off. Oof, that is a hot take. Thank you again for the donation, and thank you for being here. Yeah, Relic said what I can't say. If you guys read that comment. Yeah. Very terrible stuff. So confirmed for sure you have Hezbollah who wants in on this fight. The Israeli army targets Hezbollah militia sites. Now, there's a bit of confusion here because how involved is Lebanon really? You know, Hezbollah operates as their own little faction, but with the backing of who? Another thing that I think we should mention, sorry, I didn't mean to do that in the mic. I have a stuttering problem, but I also got other problems. Another issue, too, because I'm trying to report both sides, is that Egypt is not too happy with Israel right now, not allowing for the people in Gaza to get out. Because Israel has closed off everything. They're not allowing anyone to leave Gaza. However, Israel did say, you need to please evacuate Gaza, get out of Gaza because we're taking everything out. They have nowhere to go. So that is obviously really concerning. And again, I think this could cause more chain reactions. This could be fed into the media to be like, look, Palestine needs your help. Israel is saying they're going to not attack us, but they're attacking us. So I hope you guys understand this. Zach, I cannot say the names. Although they are educational, on YouTube, you can't even say the names of the guys who are a legal government entity in Afghanistan. And when I say legal, they say they are, whatever you know. Sorry. So yeah, that is a major issue. Egypt is right now currently dealing with an influx of refugees at this point. Let's go ahead and get to the reports from the IDF, or the wrap-up, if you will, because somebody had asked what the casualties are. I hate reporting on this because, for one, it's sad, but for two, these update in the next 2 seconds of me even talking about this. But for your educational purposes, because we had somebody ask, the operational recap, and just so you guys know, if you want to go straight to the source and you don't have to wait for me, you can go to the Israeli Defense Forces Twitter, you can go to their Instagram, Facebooks, and they are always on this 24/7. Okay, so the operational recap: 50 confirmed hostage or missing. Something that the United States... Hey, thank you for the $5 donation from the T-SPLY. Since it seems very likely that Iran is involved, will Israel attack Iran with airstrikes, such as when they attacked their power plant? Can I refer to your question after I do this? Because anyone who donates, I really want to give you the time and place. I will respond to your question here in a second. Just so you guys know, the United States is saying just because there are U.S. citizens missing doesn't necessarily mean these are U.S. hostages. Nonetheless, though, there's a likelihood of for sure there are U.S. hostages. So understand this. That 50 number is a mix between hostage and missing, but there are hostages. I mean, they're on camera. 100 plus Israelis have been taken out. 208,000 Israelis injured. 4,500 plus rockets. I always thought that number was in the 5,000. Again, that number is hit or miss. And 2,294 Hamas targets struck. The one thing that bothers me from Israel is that I wish they did show the casualty count from Gaza so we can see the full picture and how this is not a good conflict for anyone. Unfortunately, there's a massive loss of life. Okay, will Israel attack Iran? Iran says they have absolutely nothing to do with this. And if you think anyone believes that, you're out of your mind. Will they attack them? From your comment, it looks like you're very knowledgeable in your history. For those of you who are not aware, Israel is the only country to ever fly a low-altitude flight directly to another country without stealth and take out a reactor, a nuke reactor, before it was built. No country has ever done that. So who's to say Israel will not do a preemptive strike, especially after this? In my opinion, I will give it an 80% yes, 20% no. Thank you for our RP donation, $5 donation. I see you. Has the Gerald Ford arrived yet? Oh, they're in town, baby. They are in town. And if you just missed the stream, or if you're just getting in here, they are in the area. And the main mission for these guys is, not, again, not necessarily to attack Gaza, but it's to protect U.S. interest. There was a big misconception about that where, okay, aircraft carriers here, we're going to go fight Hamas. That is not the case. The guys who want to fight Hamas are going to be special operations. Hey, thank you for the donations. I see you. Let me answer these guys thoroughly because these are good donations. Thank you. $19 from RW. Whatever valid claims the Palestinians may have held against Israel, they have washed the state clean with innocent blood. Yeah, okay. What RW is referring to is this is kind of the first time where you have a lackluster of support for Palestine and Gaza. And I'm just calling it as it is. As most of us know, whenever like there's a conflict between Israel and Palestine, it's hashtag free Palestine, hashtag free Palestine. And everybody does not want conflict. Nobody wants violence. But again, it's hard to refute the fact that the videos that are coming out today are absolutely disgusting. They are terrible. And RW makes a good point. The hope that Palestine had to try and retake whatever they wanted or needed, I don't see that happening anytime soon now or ever, especially if Israel is saying they want to wipe Hamas. So thank you so much for the good point and the $20 donation. Eric Mason with a $10 donation. Seriously, has there ever been a stronger military unit than a carrier strike force? The USS Ford is scary. Yes, the 101st Airborne is the strongest military unit in the world. And I'm totally not saying that, and I'm totally not biased, and the flag behind me totally was not my former unit in the 101st Airborne. Thank you so much. But no, yeah, you're right. I mean, whenever a strike group appears in an area, you don't want to mess with it. Also, beyond the strike group, apparently there were also A-10s that were brought into the region, confirmed, unconfirmed. That was according to the DoD, so who knows. Thank you for the $2 donation from Chicken Lord. Use this to purchase 1/4 of a rotisserie chicken. You just reminded me I have to throw out the rotisserie chicken in the fridge. My wife's going to yell at me. So thank you for the donation. I appreciate you. So, okay, I hope you guys all learned something today. I mean, that's what's going on. As far as the exact details with who's involved with the hostage rescues, I don't want to speculate too much, but historically speaking, the U.S. military invests a lot of time and money in Tier 1. You have Delta, and I keep going like this for Delta because they change their names every 3 years. You have SEAL Team 6. You have these units who train their entire lives and spend a lot of money for this exact situation. So if there was ever a time for the U.S. military to get involved in the conflict, this one right here would be a justification. If you ask me, again, I'm not for this conflict at all or any conflicts, but when the time comes, the time comes. So you finally caught a stream. Hey, if you're here, make sure you do turn on your notifications and you like the video. Any other random questions? I'll take a couple more and then we're going to end this. But you still need good ground intelligence to locate the hostages. I do want to leave this point. The United States sort of was like, how did you guys let this happen? And I'm sure if you have been following this conflict, there's been a lot of questions as to how did Israel not see this coming? That has not been answered. So I don't have an answer for you. That's just the point I'm trying to make. Pararescue as well, yes, but pararescue is more for like a downed pilot, but yeah. So he said drag it out. I don't like to drag these out. I like to give you the information quick, and I like to post the videos. Yeah, people are just trolling. It's all good. It's funny. Do you think Israel will level Gaza? When leveling Gaza, yes and no. They will level it if they have to. I don't think Israel wants to. The issue is Gaza has over 300 miles of underground tunnels. And so if Hamas is operating in an area where there are civilians, that target will get taken out. And you can go back and look at the IDF spokesman who said, we are doing what the government wants us to do, and what the government told us to do is to never give the ability to Hamas to ever attack Israel ever again. So when you break that down, we want Hamas to never attack Israel ever again. The word ever, I'm not an English major, but that means to never happen. And so if it means leveling Gaza, that might be the implication here. But again, there are strong signs of Israel not wanting to hurt innocent people, but innocent people are getting hurt, and there's a lot getting hurt on all sides. Yes, there is action going on in the West Bank as well. Okay, thank you guys for being here. Thank you guys for turning on your notifications and liking the video. I told you it would work. And thank you so much for the donations. That means a lot. I love updating you guys, and I love talking to all of you and being here with you guys. Thank you so much. And I hope you guys all learned something and you can bring it back to your friends and family. Yeah, this is a very dirty and nasty conflict, but it doesn't look like it's going to get any better. It looks like it's going to get prolonged, especially if Hamas is going to keep up the fight. But this is quickly turning into a humanitarian mission as well. And so maybe we'll have to cover some of that soon. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Everyone be safe. Love you all. And if you're watching the posted video, thank you for being here as well. See you guys. And goodbye. See ya.